You're listening to the Life in General podcast with Tom and Jaye. An hour of informative commentary on today's headlines, current events, and what's going on around the world and around the corner. And now, here are your hosts, Tom and Jaye Darden.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Life in General podcast here with Tom and Jaye. This is episode 34. This is the post-holidays edition. We're coming at you here, back from our normal regular studio audience here. Cue in the golf clap there with it's just he and I. And we're going to start this off the same way we do every time, just to make it feel like home, and ask the man of the hour how he is, because he is back in sunny and beautiful Ecuador down there. And we're going to see what's going on. So, hey, Dad, how are you?
I'm doing all right. It's really hot down here. We got off the plane at 10:30 Saturday night, Christmas night, and it was 90 degrees in the city where the plane landed. Yeah, it's always really, really hot in that city. I don't know if it's because of all the concrete or all the stuff that's there together, but it's where the international airport is, and it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And, buddy, let me tell you, we knew to wear shorts and a T-shirt back when we left. Of course, it was nice. It was in the 50s, I think, or the 60s when we left.
Yeah, it was
Tennessee.
Around like 55 or 60 when we were dropping y'all off at the airport. Didn't feel too bad, and actually, I think as that day went on, it got up into around like the 65, maybe 70 range for Christmas.
Really?
So that wasn't too terrible. But how was the trip back?
It was very uneventful, unlike the trip up. It was okay. It was okay. None of the flights that we took were full. So a couple of times we had empty seats on either side of us. So we did a little switcheroo, and so we would have an empty seat beside us or whatever, because we get an aisle seat across from each other. That way, if we need to get up and go to the bathroom or something, or get up, stretch our legs, we don't have to climb over people that are asleep and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, that's pretty smart. Y'all have done that a few times, I guess.
Yeah, we have done that a few times, and it was pretty nice. I don't remember, was that on the way up there or the way back that they upgraded us to business? Do you remember Pat telling you that story? That the lady and the child were separated, and so they asked us, would we switch seats with them, and we said sure, so the mom and the child could sit together. Well, that lady, we were getting on the plane, and the lady took our boarding passes, and she looked at them, and she ripped them in half, and I went, uh-oh.
Yeah, oops.
I went, uh-oh. And she goes, no, it's okay. And she pitched them in the garbage, and she did some stuff on the computer and printed out 2 new ones and upgraded us to the business class.
Well, so bully to you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Bully to me was right, because we had big fat seats and this cocktails. If you wanted them, come on, bring me one of those and bring me some of that.
Yeah, that was that's not bad. That was like a flight. I was going up to Ohio with a buddy of mine for his birthday, a little 24-hour stint up there, and there were 2 children who needed to sit together, and nobody in the plane wanted to do it. And so finally I raised my hand, and, my boy was like, whatever, it's all good. And then they definitely reward you for your efforts. And, a couple drinks later, it's like, I don't think there was any Coke in that, just sitting there. I mean, it's only like an hour and 15 minutes or something.
What kids?
Oh my, yeah. Kids?
What kids?
I haven't seen any kids, we were losing our minds, man. It was great.
There was a pink elephant that went by a little while ago, but...
Oh yeah, it was absolutely wild. And on that flight, of course, you sit by somebody random, because it's like Southwest. That's kind of, there aren't assigned seats. You just pick wherever you want to sit based on how quickly you got into the plane. Right. And I actually sat beside a pilot who worked for Shell, and he actually would fly planes and test out the oil, like test out the gas and the oil and stuff like that at different altitudes and stuff. That was a very eccentric experience, but overall very much worth it. So, moral of this story is do the right thing. Not seeking a reward, but do the right thing, because it's going to pay off in the end, whether or not you're seeking that.
Yeah, we sat next to a captain, and I don't know who he flew with, but the flight attendant kept referring to him as captain, and I don't know where he was going, but yeah, he was riding along with us. So going up was a nightmare because we left here at 8:00 in the morning, and we got to Miami. It's 4 hours to Miami, so we got there about noon and stuff. Anyway, long story short, when we got on the plane to come to Nashville, we're on one of the crop dusters that left from Joe's Hair Care Tire Barn and Airport. We're going to do a little crop dusting in Georgia before we get to Tennessee. Yeah. It's an hour and 45 minutes. Well, and you can't make it with this equipment, but everybody got loaded on the plane, and then they said they were putting the plane out of service because they didn't have the paperwork for a mechanical procedure that they had completed earlier that day. So everybody had to get their luggage and disembark, but stay in the lobby because we're going to tell you what to do. Okay, so we all got off the plane and we're all sitting there, ready to go.
Oh, yeah, everyone's jockeying there for position. Yeah. It's almost like you're getting to the starting blocks,
Yeah, so I sat down, and next thing I know, they're telling me that I've got to go 25 gates down to get on another plane. Well, that's in Miami. That's a large airport.
Oh, yeah.
25
nice
gates is a long way to be stepping.
Ain't no joke.
And the sidewalks, the mobile sidewalks weren't working. They had them shut down.
First world problems if I've ever heard one.
The elevator going up to the SkyTrain wasn't on. It was out of order. I mean, it was a cluster.
Too tired to get to you.
We get down there to the plane. We get on that plane, and they say, "Okay, we're waiting on the first officer because the one on the other plane ran out of hours." I said, "Well, let me see that logbook. I'll fix that logbook."
Yeah, well, I'll fix your hours. Yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, I can get you. It's an hour and 45 minutes, man. I can fix that. And it's like, sit down and shut up, old man. So they were waiting on another first officer. We sat there for an hour waiting on a first officer. Went through 3 before we finally got one. And then I said, "Well, hell, the pilot will be out of hours by the time the first officer gets here."
Yeah, hey, that's very possible.
He's had the motor running all this time. He'll be out of gas. So there you are. So we finally, 4 hours late, come rolling into Nashville. It was an event. We were supposed to be here at 4:15 in the afternoon, and we rolled in about 8:30 that night. And it pretty much sucked because 4:00 in the afternoon would have been a lot better than 8:00 at night. But
but you got to see us. Wasn't it worth the wait and all the hardships?
Yeah, I had a great visit. Yeah. I had a great visit seeing all my family and my children and my grandchildren and everything. Yeah, it was very cool. My brother came up from Georgia. Yeah. The Santa's Forgotten Heroes that we do, that's the reason we made that trip. And I didn't tell anybody I was coming. They thought it was just Patricia coming. So when, of course, you were there, when you and I rolled up there on that Saturday morning, it was kind of a big surprise. But I normally play Santa Claus, 9 years worth of Santa Claus. The 10th year, I just wanted to observe and watch what went on. And it was really overwhelming. All the people that came out to volunteer and that participated and brought things and gave their time and gave their money and their presence and everything, man. Anita and Jeff Williams and Lori France and Patricia, they got spreadsheets, and I mean, they've got that stuff down to a science.
Oh, yeah. It's a well-oiled machine. Yeah, something that's actually pretty awe-inspiring to behold, for sure.
Yeah, it was. And they can go to the Santa's Forgotten Heroes Facebook page and see all the people and all the things that were involved. The Iron Legacy Motorcycle Club, they're a remarkable organization. The Ashland City chapter, the Nashville chapter, and the Smithville Tennessee chapter. They came in and participated like they do every year. And I mean, it was great. It was great. Michael Shaver Plumbing donated a case of bottled water to each one of the vets. I mean, yeah, he does that every year. Yeah, it was really something to see. And there's a whole lot of pictures on there that you can see Tom and Jay.
Right, yeah, you can make out our large frames there every now and then, and of course, in true Jay style, of course, as we've all established, I have resting asshole face, so it's always something where in a scenario where it would look like, oh yeah, super smiles and yay and hugs and kisses and all that, you just see me just sitting there, and it's
I'm here in spirit,
that's it. The joy is internal out there. It's always awesome going out and seeing all that and helping out and trying to not get in the way and whatnot. It's super cool, and it's something that, hey, 10 years running. Comment down below what you've done. You've done it for 10 years, and something that you actually went from 0 to 100 doing that isn't something that you do in your everyday life, right? You're actually having to go out of your way, make it happen, whether or not it's a special diet, whether or not it's working out, whether or not it's, volunteering that you're doing, something that is super cool. Let us know down below what you think or what you have done that's lasted even 5 years. Something that, it is nothing but just like they say in the movie John Wick. It's being a person of focus, of sheer will, right? Because as we see, especially even nowadays, people are just almost lackadaisical in what they do, right? They're just kind of floating
scattered
around.
They're scattered everywhere, man.
Right. And it's something where they're just kind of floating around and people are just existing. And it's, honestly, it's pretty comfortable being in that goo, but it's, and I know I joke about being in it, but it's something where every now and then we need to make strides to get out of it, right? We need to come up with new things we can do to not only better ourselves, but those around us by proxy. Because that was something I had a little bit of a reflective moment, and I get a little bit introspective every now and then, and some people would call this prayer, some people would call it meditation, some people would, whatever you want to call it, looking internally and asking yourself questions. When is the last time you've done that, right? And every time I think about it, I think, am I somebody who other people want to be around? Right? So I know cue the crickets there, right?
I was going to say the cricket thing.
That's it. And even this question can be posed to you. Are all of our 41 subs?
Only the people that love me.
Right. So to that end, are you somebody? I'll put this question out to you and to the world. Have you ever reflected and seriously looked internally and just thought about, am I somebody who people want to be around?
Yes, I have thought of that myself. And some days, yes, and some days, no.
On the days that it's no, are you finding that it's a particular instance, like something is happening that you're doing, or an energy that you are expanding or like shooting out into the world? Or is it just possibly it's just not your day?
No patience. As I've gotten older, no patience.
See, it oftentimes comes with what's it called? Age doesn't equal wisdom, right? Like you would oftentimes in movies or shows or media, you oftentimes find that as people get older, they get wiser. Well, in this instance, if you're running out of patience, you would assume you would have more patience, right? You would be wiser and understand enough about the world to realize patience is something that is invaluable, right? But from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen a little bit since you've been up here is the patience goes, real fast. So why do you think that is?
It's not be wiser, it's Budweiser.
Yeah, cue up the bud. But that's all we can do. Just the first bud, because if you go any further, copyright strike, bam, they're going to get you.
Holy smoke. I don't know what does that. I don't know.
Well, something to think about out there is, and these are choices, right? These are choices that we make that oftentimes they say you cannot control your emotions, but you can control how you react to things, right? That's the biggest thing is You might feel mad. You don't have to let that out, right? You can feel happy. You can feel sad. You can feel whatever you want, because honestly, that's very difficult to control, emotions in general. But what the world sees, you do have complete control over, to most, like in many or most situations, I would say. But kind of wild. And so, speaking about doing that sort of thing and being a person who others would want to be around, and of course we have New Year's rolling up. This should be out before the New Year's occurs. Knock on proverbial wood there. Do you have any New Year's resolutions or plans you don't mind sharing?
No.
Hey, perfect. Next segment. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any plans or any resolutions or anything, you know.
That's it. Well, so what, from an old show I watched, they say that the first, like, people will do resolutions for maybe at a maximum of 3 weeks, right? And then it's over. So it's something that, one of my resolutions is it's always weight loss, and it's an uphill battle all the time. You know, if you keep eating the donuts up the hill, it's going to keep becoming a mountain or stay a mountain. And one of the times that I had very good success was when I started in like November or very late October, because I said, look, don't make this be a resolution that you get to a point and it's February 14th or February 15th, and you see all of the candy or the ho-hos or wham-whams, whatever, the post Valentine's Day thing. I'm not a huge sweets person, but just as an example here, is something where it's not a resolution that you air quotes failed. It's just something that, hey, you just got to pick it back up and keep rolling. Instead of saying, well, I guess I'm just another statistic where you started something at the beginning of the year and then, crapped out, and then now you're back where you were.
Well, the weight loss thing or the gym and stuff, it can't be a hobby. It's a lifestyle change. And if you don't want to make the lifestyle change, then don't even start it. I mean, it's a commitment and it's a lifestyle change. You're going to change completely the way your life is, the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress. It's a complete lifestyle change. And if you don't want to get it, if you want to jump in 100%, then stay the hell out. I mean, I worked at World Gym Fitness Center as a trainer in Hendersonville when it first came to town. And it's not, I tell people, it's not a hobby. This can't be a hobby. It's got to be a lifestyle change. And if you don't want to make the change, then don't start. You can't just come here as a hobby every now and then, or just to say you have a membership or whatever.
So I think what you're saying here is, when you say don't make it a hobby, I think you live pretty close to somebody who made a hobby into a lifestyle. So if it starts out that way, it's not the worst thing in the world, because not everybody can start out being Arnold, right? But
that's true.
There's something out there that says, hey, start out small, because just like we've seen, I mean, even from your personal experience, if you go too hard too fast, you're going to burn out in an instant, and then it's all going to come crashing down. So something where making small strides, making a hobby into a lifestyle is something that can be positive, but it takes a special individual for it.
You got to have a plan.
Remember, we've talked about plans. Plans are scary.
You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan and figure out where you're going and what your end goal is. Zig Ziglar says you'll hit a target every time that you shoot at if you don't have one, or hit a bullseye every time. I don't remember what the quote is. But anyway,
I'll try to find the Zig Ziglar quote and put it up on the screen. That'll make a little bit more sense than just shoot targets, hit, maybe
whatever, man. Shoot at all of them. Get a machine gun and shoot.
Well, and that's one thing that we've said before too, is just kill them all, let God sort them out. But the Life in General podcast.
Now the Life in General.
That's it. Put up the disclaimer there. So making sure.
Did you see where they found? Did you see where they found Giselle Maxwell guilty?
I did on 5 or 6 counts or something like that.
Five of the 6. She'll spend the next 65 years in prison.
Yeah, but that's all going to come to a head when
I can't wait till her new book comes out. Not that she's writing one, but there will be one where it starts to name all the other people that are in there. Like Clinton and, people like that have been on the island with Jeffrey
I'm gonna
and the
write
girls.
a book. It's gonna be called "One Talk About Me, One Talk About I."
I started writing a book called Truck Driving for Dummies, the things they don't teach you in school.
That would have been a fantastic book, and it still honestly can be. Just go talk to your neighborhood author down there who's written 2 or 3 books at this point in time, and get it going, man.
He's written 3. I didn't want the dummies books or the yellow and black ones, the dummies, but whatever for dummies. I didn't want to share the revenue with them, but so I got like 2 chapters and then I stopped because I used to write it while I was on the road. So
something that is amazing is the fact that
because I'm stingy,
right? Take it, man. Get your 60 or 40%
pennies and you run, right?
It, man. It's like our adventure up in Indiana that we can talk about in a second. It's like, oh, take the money and run. Like, just do it and move on, man.
That song came on today, and I thought about you.
Yeah,
I said,
man, that's totally fantastic. So we go up to Southern Caesar, Indiana, or Caesar Southern Indiana, which is a little casino up there. It takes about 3 hours to get up there. And Fatur and I say, yeah, we're going to go up and spend a little money and just, have some fun with it. And it was a scenario that I would never in my wildest dreams thought 3 hours later we would be busting down the door to get out with all of our money. And it was something that was just incredible because I go in there and I sit Dad down and I say, look, other than don't buying any of the $20 packs of cigarettes, not that either of us would, but just it's what I read in a book was humor.
Neither one of us smoke.
Oh man, it was nuts. That was insane. And the little casino lady saying, that's not ours. Somebody else making money off that. Don't think poorly of us because
she was quick to point that out too. Yeah, that's third party vendor right there. We have nothing to do with $15 a pack.
Oh man, absolutely ridiculous.
Jesus.
So
wow.
Get in there and I sit Dad down and I say, look, 2 things. 1, do not go into the high limit section for slot machines. 2, do not play the Wheel of Fortune. These are only your 2 rules.
Fortune.
And you go in there, and then after losing maybe 50 or so bucks on the machine that's, the dollar machine or the 25-cent machine or whatever.
The purple diamonds or whatever. What was it? The double diamonds or something like that? It's
double or triple diamonds. That's kind of the machine you go to normally. And so we're thinking, okay, not going to do anything else. Like, at least at that time, I was looking at the craps tables. You didn't find a blackjack that was like at the level you wanted to invest in. And then we somehow waddle over after losing a few times and 1 beer, no more, no less. That's the amount we drank there a piece. After you lost enough money at the little silly poker machine that's there that doesn't, win anybody anything. And then somehow we wind up going into the high roller, the high limit area that has like 4 tables open and the rest are all slot machines. And these slot machines are like $5-10 a pop. And then you're like, look at that Wheel of Fortune machine. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? The whole point is to not be in here and not play that exact game. And so then you sit down, you play it, you put in $40 was the max. And I'm not going to forget because you go $5 because it was a $5 per and you could bet 2 times, right? So you can go 5 and then 10. You go $5, $5, $10. Okay, that's 20, and then you hit another for 2, and you're like, all right, 10 more bucks. I know I'm holding at 5, but $10, and then you hit it for like $250 or something insane, right? And then
it was $500 the first time I hit it.
Well, you hit 500, and then I hit 350 on that same machine. You hit 250 on a different machine. We hit the trouble bubble or craps playing solo for $1.50, and then we're running. We just make a break for the door, man. We're like, no, we're done here. Like this feels like robbery, We go in, we take them for all their work. Now I know that's not crazy amounts of winning, but when you come out 8 ahead, we ain't looking too bad, and it's not something where
8 ahead each. Yeah,
no, 4
right.
4 each. 8 total, 4 a piece, and we're like, hey, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we bust the doors down. We know next time we won't book the hotel room first. We'll just see how well we do, and maybe if we need to cry in our beer, that's okay.
Yeah, because they were nice and refunded the hotel room.
Yeah, they were
Since
actually
we were only
the
there
nicest
like
people ever.
2.5 or 3 hours, and they gave us they refunded the hotel room because we went up there and we didn't do anything, but walked up there and laid your backpack down and walked back out and went over to the casino, and there we were.
Yeah, it was absolute insanity, really. And so, what a wild ass experience in terms of going up there, doing exactly what I say don't. But it turns out that it was the best decision. So, what does that say about me? I.e., don't listen. Right. That's the moral of this story is, and this happens with a lot of people. Actually, we'll give them advice and then they come out ahead in the end because they didn't listen. So I need to, take the money and run. I believe that's what Steve Miller Band. So, hey, that's kind of the deal where we go in and, hey, we're going to take the money and run. Steve Miller Band. There you go.
Yeah, that's what we did too.
Nothing wrong with that. Was a great experience overall. You and I made off pretty well after our initial investment. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a good time. Quick and easy.
Yeah, it was it was a scenario you and I normally don't make that much, I'm assuming, in a day in terms of our day job. So, hey, it turned out 8 hours worth of work was not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, it worked out. We had a little extra cash for the rest of the week. So
right. And, hey, that was something that definitely helped because the Jay and Tom show, it ain't cheap. And it ain't easy, but we love it. We love doing it, right? Having everybody coming up and being around, it was super fun. Getting to spend time with family and friends. And, I mean, we had people coming out of the woodwork. It was great. People from Arkansas, people from Georgia. It was absolutely fantastic. So
yes, it was.
We definitely thank everybody for coming up and visiting and whatnot. We wouldn't choose another team. So it was great stuff.
Speaking of teams, I have to give a shout out to Dr. Diana Shipley and the Tennessee oncologist team.
Hey, there you go.
Over
awesome.
there at Sumner Station. Yeah, I went up there and had a visit with them and then went back the next week and had another visit. And then I had another visit before I left. So we'll talk about that down the road.
Yep.
But
hey,
they're over there.
Dr. Shipley. There are no spoilers.
Dr. Shipley saved my life when I had the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and there's no telling how many lives that Dr. Shipley and her team have saved. I'm sure it's many, many, many lives that team over there at Sumner Station, Tennessee Oncology, has saved. So thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
and I hope I'm here. Hope I'm here a little longer. So we'll see.
That'd be great. Well, if not, we'll have a weekend at Bernie's scenario. I'll just tell Pat to prop you up with some sunglasses on, and then I'll say, hey, Dad, how you doing? Have a little mouth over there on your screen and stuff.
There you go. Hopefully it won't come to that, but we'll see.
Something that's kind of wild. But, well, okay, that's a little more somber note. So we're going to segue into something that is absolutely insane. Saw something online where NASA, you guys have heard of this place, right? NASA, a gigantic government organization that talks about space in general, right? And something that caught my eye was a news article this past week was NASA hires 24 theologians to study the topic of how religious folks would respond to alien life or other iterations of Christ. So something that would flabbergast me, right? That article is not out there for nothing. Does that make sense? I mean, something out there, like they're priming the pump for just, they're like, there's ET right there. I mean, we warned you. And then, cut in like me, cut in crazy little ET chicken wire and Play-Doh and stuff. But could you imagine within like 6 months, they just straight up said, yeah, no, there's life right there. We can see it.
Yes, because I saw a news feed where there was a UFO sitting on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Really? Where was that at?
I was on one of the news feeds that popped up, and they said,
Wow.
yes, there are UFOs. And they had picture was taken from way off, probably from a helicopter or something going by. And they had circled this thing sitting on the aircraft carrier deck, and that ain't no jet.
Well, I'm telling you, man, like, what's going to happen to folks out there, hardcore religious, I don't want to say fanatics, that sounds derogatory, but people, it's like, hey, this is how this happened. That's that's ET right there. Now, granted, could this be a scenario where if you had a godlike scenario, did they have multiple iterations of beings, you know? Something that I find is very humbling and pretty cool is angels, right? Angels in the Bible, a lot of the times, if you look at their physical form, oftentimes you'll see in the Bible it says, "Be ye not afraid," because they are terrifying looking. They're not the Michaels and Christophers and all these kinds of angels where it's like, I'm the Metatron, and they look like Alan Rickman from a movie, right? It's something that's just a terrifying entity with multiple eyes and feathers everywhere. It's all absolutely crazy. So, to that end, is that what the extraterrestrials are? Have there been other iterations of us that are just hanging out somewhere, and it's like, oh yeah, this was Earth 2 or something to that effect, where, I mean, wouldn't that just be mind-blowing to finally just catch the awe-inspiring "you're not alone"? Because so oftentimes we understand that the universe is so big and it's a crazy place, but you're just specks of dust and all that. Well, there are other specks of dust out there too, and you think the universe is so big, we can't be the only thing there.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I mean, I lose my mind a little bit more each time I think about it, because it would just be absolutely awesome to say, oh yeah, there's that alien right there. Holy crap. I mean, wow. Just wow. And I know there's been evidence before, even on Dave Chappelle's special, there was like the closer, there was he makes light of like, hey, there's aliens out there. I mean, why aren't we making a bigger deal out of this? Because you have to think that sort of thing is overshadowed by a bill being passed that half of a small group of people don't like. That just flabbergasts me, man. I mean, there are so many cool and interesting things out there that it comes down to, oh, well, this person didn't do what we wanted, and so they suck. And it's like, the universe is such a cool and interesting place. Like, focus your energy on that, right? I don't know. It just blows my mind.
That'd be interesting. I'm not a outer space kind of guy. You know, and most people go, well, you've never seen Star Wars? Nope. Have you ever watched Star Trek? No. I just never was a space guy. So sorry, I can't participate deep into your conversation. Now, I did watch Battlestar Galactica with the Zylons. That's back in 1972 or something like that, with Lauren Green off Bonanza or something, you know.
Hey, that's something fun to do in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Are you a Trekkie or are you a Star Wars fan? Which one are you? And let's get the comments and the Facebook page just fired up in terms of
there you go.
Nanu, or are you out there saying, may the force be with you? You know, I mean, I'm going with a lightsaber if I had to be honest, but
okay,
we can talk about that in the comment section. Get fired up about something that is arbitrary and silly. Let's go. You know?
There you go.
That's what you got to do, man. You got to start off with something silly, because the world right now it's just absolutely crazy, and we I don't know. We do appreciate y'all sticking with us. 41 subs, as we mentioned before. So thank y'all very much for being a part of that and being a part of the Facebook group. So thank y'all again for doing that. It's something that we really do appreciate. And hey, we're just gonna keep spreading the silly word, right? So ain't nothing to it but to do it.
It was so ironic when we first got there. when we went to that Mexican restaurant that first night we got there, and I ordered a margarita, and it was $6 for the margarita.
Yeah.
It was in like a 10-ounce cup. And down here, you get a margarita, well, maybe 12-ounce cup, but it was in one of those plastic cups. And down here, you get a 12-ounce cup margarita with twice the alcohol, and there's $3. And I thought, wow, and then I looked at the prices, and I thought, well, everything's gone up because of inflation and all that kind of stuff. But everybody, everywhere we went, they were shorthanded. Everybody was mad. Everybody was confused. Everybody's pissed off. And I mean, every place that we went, it didn't matter if it was the Mapco or the Mexican restaurant or Chili's or Thornton's. It didn't matter where we went. Everybody was, I'm doing the best I can. And I was like, okay, it's all good, man. Calm down. I'm on vacation. I don't care, how long it takes, dude. I'm used to waiting an hour on my food down here because they make it all fresh. You order French fries. You order French fries here. They peel the potatoes.
They grow it and then peel the potatoes and then fry it up.
Yeah, and you've never had any better French fries anywhere in your life than down here.
Hold up.
But they literally chop them up and right here and cook them while you're waiting, and it takes longer to get your food because they make everything fresh down here. Everything's fresh, and it's probably half the price of up there.
I don't know if you've ever, if you would like to speak to that. And I haven't had any better French fries. Well, I don't know if you've ever been drunk at like 2 a.m. going to McDonald's and getting fresh fries out of the thing.
No. They knock McDonald's. McDonald's can pull over and park now.
I said fresh, drunken French fries. You need to chill out. But what was humorous, and I do find this interesting, is we were getting my oil changed, right? And then at the not 1 hour mark, at the 2 hour mark, we walk out there, and yes, it's done. We went and got my oil changed. Nicest little lady you could talk to in terms of getting stuff done. And she was the customer service representative who was helping us out. And then she brought up a guy behind her only in assumption that you and I were just going to lose our minds, right? I mean, because that had to be why they brought over reinforcements. Because I asked them once at the hour mark, I said, hey, what's up? You said an hour. I'm saying an hour. Cool, it's an hour. Now what? At minute 120, they have to make sure we're not going to, tear this person in half. And it's like, you and I are pretty relaxed people until we get on a topic we don't like. Or maybe we do like, and we just are a little bit boisterous. And so we get out there, and they're going to comp the entire thing. And now, call me dumb, call me silly, call me what you will. But you and I are very polite and cordial with these folks. And we're like, well, I mean, that's nice, but I don't see why, okay, I guess. I mean, you guys are doing the best you can, and we understand that. And we were very nice. And they said, well, and they totally flipped on their heads in terms of, I think, how the interaction was going to go. Because you and I mean, we're kind of nice guys every now and then, right?
Yeah. We didn't have anywhere to go or nothing to do, so
other than to make trouble and go to Crazy Town. So it was something where they were going to compass the entire thing. We turned out to be nicer people than they thought. They didn't compass the entire thing, so they took off half price, which was great. I mean, that was wonderful. I don't know why it cost $50 to get your oil change, anyways, but it was absolutely fantastic, right? They were very cool about it, and we straight up told them, we would like this experience too. We try to be a person or folks who are going to be cordial and understand. I mean, you come out of the restaurant business, me having done customer service stuff, I haven't done it in a hot minute, but I understood that back in the day,
right?
You customers out there, you're assholes, and you're not right all the time. Be nice.
That's right.
Listen to Patrick Swayze or listen to Dalton. Be nice, right? Cut in Dalton saying, what if somebody calls up my mama? And then is she? And be nice, right? Just Be nice to people. You are going to make their day.
They did escort us to the car, though.
They did. Guy walks out and she's like, hey, can you help them get out of their car? And it wasn't even anywhere close to where this person would have thought to take us. But it was absolutely fantastic.
Make sure these guys get off the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Hundy P, right? Just don't walk in there and lose our minds. But it's something where...
It took him out behind the car and started...
Yeah, he comes in bloodied and stuff. But it's a scenario where you're going to... You are going to make somebody's day. You're going to make their month if you took a bad situation and made it to where it just didn't suck even worse. Right. I saw something online that I thought was pretty interesting. The Reddit hour, right, was people are not going to forget the things you did correctly. They're not going to remember the things you did incorrectly. What are they going to remember you for?
The one mistake you made.
No, I just said that. They're not going to remember what you did right. They're not going to remember what you did wrong. What are they going to remember you for? That's strike one. I'm just kidding. They're not going to remember you at all. They are going to remember you, but they're going to remember the way you made them feel.
Okay.
Think about this for a second.
Let me tell you something. This is an experiment that you can try that I can tell you.
Talk about me. What?
No, this is an experiment because I'll ask somebody, how are you doing today? And they'll say, I'm fine. How are you? And I'll say, I'm doing great. You look good today. And most people can't just say thank you and go on. They've got to come up with, oh man, my hair or my teeth or my eyes, or I'm dressed in this old rag, or, 90% of the people cannot just say thank you and go on with their day. I never have understood that, why people just can't accept a compliment and just say thanks.
Because people in their lives generally are not complimented, and they'll do two things. One, they'll have to compliment you back because they don't ever want to owe anybody anything. Or two, they are negging. Do you know what negging is?
No. Don't want to know.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
So that is something a lot of the times in like dating scenarios or interactions where it's flirting's happening. It's like, well, and in this example, let's say, I'm the illustrious girl there, and then you're in this flirting thing with me, and then you'll say, oh, well, I'm not very good at this. And they're like, oh, but yes, you are. Right. Or say, oh, my hair looks terrible. And then you will affirm that they are incorrect. Right. You will say,
yes, your hair does look terrible.
No.
Oh, wait.
Well, we have failed negging. Right. So negging. Right. A negatory thing where people will do a falsehood that's not technically false, but they want to be reaffirmed. Another kind of example like that is, when is the last time you've asked for somebody's opinion and actually gave a shit about it and not were just wanting to affirm your own opinion?
2 weeks ago.
Cue the crickets, because I know it's bullshit.
No,
I was with you
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I called my brother, and I don't normally ask for his opinion on things. He's 5 years older than I am, and super smart. And I called him and I said, "Let me ask you a question. Tell me your opinion on this, and then tell me why you say what you say." And he can always produce the receipts and always tell you, he's got backup on whatever he says.
He cites his sources in his mental bibliography.
And I asked him what he thought about something, and I took to heart what he said. I gave a shit about what he said because it mattered to me. So there you go.
Okay, cool. Thanks for proving my point.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Right. So
I did that.
To that end, oftentimes folks are going to just want their opinion validated. They're not going to actually seek different or differing opinions, which might seem as though why people get defensive when you bring up something kind of arbitrary, right? And someone says, well, no, and it's like, no. Just validate me. give me validation and move on.
Yeah, see,
that's all I need you for.
I've never been that way, because when we were in the motorcycle club, now listen closely, and all the people that are listening can verify this. When we were in the motorcycle club, you have a meeting every week or every other week called church, and it's for brothers only, okay, to discuss club business. I would bring in the women also during church, because women are smarter, they're cleaner, they think faster. So if I was wanting the chapter to be successful, then when I was conducting church, then I would bring in the ladies and the men, the brothers and the sisters, and value everyone's opinion, because the things we talked about in that church affected everybody in the charter. So let everybody participate in the charter, in the opinion making or the decision making process.
Was your club name Gandhi or Mona Lisa, or I'm sorry, Mother Teresa?
No, it was "You Can Kiss My Ass." That was the thing. We didn't care what anybody else thought. Well, you can't have the women in here. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just because some of you guys are too stupid to understand that behind, with every man comes a good woman. I mean, they don't get it. They never did get it. I hope so.
Are you saying I'm not a good man because there's no good woman around?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you said with every good man, there's a good woman.
Said in the club with every good man.
You're preferencing. We're qualifying.
Right. Now, you're not going to back me into a corner. Look, come here. When I had the chance, I did that when I had the chance. Yeah. Hey, I'm not. It's nice to see you. Thanks for picking me up at the airport.
There you go. Hey, I didn't pick you up. I took your ass back. I didn't pick you up. That wasn't my decision.
He picks us up. He takes us back to the airport. He pops the trunk and says, "Get your stuff out." So we get our stuff out. The windows are down in the car because, like we said, it's 55 or 60, and we hear this. And we look, and here comes the champagne.
That's it. The champagne's off the flying
bottle.
out of the side of the car, man. Just
he drives off, and
I'm driving in a cop car, right? Basically, yeah. I'm driving in a cop car, so ain't nobody gonna stop me. Ain't nobody stopping you.
He got the champagne. Glad we're gone. Get out.
That's it.
As he drives off.
Yeah. That is absolutely correct. Holy
too funny, man. That was too funny. The champagne top come popping out the window.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to revoke my global entry because I was drinking at the airport.
Yeah, drinking on the premises. That's right.
That's it,
man. You wouldn't believe You wouldn't believe. I don't know how the duty free works, but you wouldn't believe all the duty free. I guess that's tax free.
That's tax free when you are in specific spots in airports, going to different places. You can buy things that are duty free, and especially if they're under a certain amount of money, you're just like, go ride right on through. Because one of the reasons, and I had this discussion this week at work, somebody at one of our clients, it had chocolate delivered to them. Okay. Because, hey, they're trying to be cool. Someone's being very nice. We get it. Totally fine. Chocolate, wine, certain other food products. You are not being nice. Do not ship it overseas because it's a pain in the ass to get that shit into the government or in through customs. Because, for whatever reason, customs doesn't like that shit. That's why you see bukus of chocolate, mountains of wine.
That's because you got to have the FDA's got to be involved, the USDA's got to be involved, the EPA.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
The CDC, the ABC, and all that shit. Everybody's got to stick their nose in
it. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So when
I was just thinking about all the bottles of liquor that I saw. The people had the bags and they had the bottles of liquor and stuff. And I was thinking, man, there's a whole bunch of them with white sacks and it says duty free on the.
I haven't seen that more than when I went on cruises because, baby, all of like that liquor looks to be almost half price, duty free. I've seen people put it in their children's suitcases, man. They're just packing it in there like, all right, Timmy, go on. They're not going to check your bag. It's like, oh, I got one. Okay, cool. You know, they're filling out their little form and shit. It's absolutely crazy.
So, you mean they're not gonna check the bag that's got the
Paw
snowflake
Patrol,
or Cinderella on the back?
No.
Yeah.
The little Batman bag that's got like the 10 pounds of Coke in it. Nah, you're good. No, go on, Timmy. It's fine. Go on. You good. It's like, the dog just is playing with him because we haven't washed his hands. Give me a break. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just wondered. I just saw a whole bunch of bags like that everybody was carrying, and I've never bought any liquor at the airport. So, I mean, not that I didn't consume there on the premises, let me put it that way.
Hey, man, some of the best White Russians I ever had was made by a little Cuban lady who was giving me the creamers out of the coffees that they, normally had. And I'm telling you, that tab was 3 digits, but hey, it's all good.
Well, okay. I just didn't know how that worked.
Well, it's something where duty free. You ain't got to pay any tax on it unless it goes over a certain amount, and then they will kick you right in the ass.
Okay. Well, I don't have to worry about that because I'm not buying it. So, yep.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with that. But so talked about New Year's, talked about Santa's Forgotten Heroes. That's been fantastic. Christmas holidays, awesome stuff. We really appreciate you coming up and everything. And thank you all out there who made us feel like little celebrities when we came up and we're like, I know you. And I'm thinking, please no, sir, don't hurt me. And then it's like, no, we watched the podcast. And I was like, you watched the podcast? Unironically, just to give it, not to give us your views. And no, it was absolutely wonderful. You all are awesome. So thank you all so much again for sticking with us and putting us on the big screen. That was very cool and something that hopefully as we grow, it'll be even cooler down the line. We're working on getting some new things in order, some more tech, some more new little gadgets here and there, some new strats that we can work on. So very cool. It was awesome to meet everybody, and hopefully in the near future, somebody's working on the guest list, and we'll have some new people, some new blood on here to as we joke about. I have a buddy who will probably never come on, but it's a scenario. I keep the door open all the time because we talk about it. We'll get a little inebriated. We'll have some fun with it. And then eventually it comes down to, and I'll quote him. He says, it would just be me beating up your dad. And it was something that's just hilarious, man.
That's okay.
He's very much a, liberal, progressive, but
I'd love to have him for dinner.
Oh man, it would be, I think, amazing conversation. What is very interesting to me is that this person was in the military, and this person is pro Second Amendment. He's very much on the level. One of my really good buddies. But it comes down to there are certain things that, nowadays, and we've definitely seen it, and even you and I have done this before, where you'll just, bam, I'm entrenched, and it's over, right? There isn't anything you're going to say, I'm going to say that's going to move our proverbial foxholes in any direction, and it's like, there it is. And so it's something that...
And that's okay. Everybody's got their own opinion,
opinions like assholes, right? Everyone's got one.
Well, no, I'm just saying everybody's got their own opinion, and everybody thinks the way they think. That's fine. We can agree to disagree, man. That's just how it is. You agree to disagree.
That is the most American-looking screen I've ever seen with the not only Star Spangled Banner, the Stars and Stripes, but your work shirt just kills me. You just wearing the neon shirt, man.
It looked like you just come off the job, man.
That's it. Yeah. Where's your hard hat and your and your 40?
It's hanging over there. I drove my dump truck yesterday, so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I wish I could find a dump truck down here to drive.
No, because you'd be running people over, man.
I know, right? It's not easy to get a job down here, so they're hard to find. So,
well, I would say a gringo who doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, it'd be hard to find too. I wouldn't want to hire you either.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Because I'd have to hire you and Pedro, who speaks English, right? And then also speaks Spanish.
To tell me where to go to deliver whatever we picked, or where to pick up, or where to deliver. That's right.
A la
That's right.
izquierda. And you're like, what?
Yeah, you'd be wanting to give me $1.250 or something, $1.50, and give him $2.
Well, hey, if a 22-ounce beer is $2, you work 2 hours and you're in, buddy. Like
I'm in.
We'll set you up.
I'm in. Yeah, that's it.
Ain't nothing to it. The dogs are going nuts out there. Are more coconuts falling down, or what's happening?
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm in the back, down in the office, in the hole, and
where are the cats? Where are the kitties? Give us kitties.
Sleep.
Oh, boring. Boring.
Yeah. They're upside down, laying somewhere, either in a chair, in the bed, or something.
Did you look at your? Did you look at your camera yet?
I brought it down here to the office so I can have a bright light, because there is no light. So I can.
Right.
I know it's got a plastic case around it that you have to take off before you get to the camera.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting until I come down here and it's quiet and I can be by myself and look at it and see what I'm going to do and how to mount it and all that stuff.
Something that'll be cool in the future is we're going to try to have some footage,
right?
Found footage of at least half of the Jay and Thomas or Tom and Jay podcast out there, out in Ecuador. See what you see, right?
Traveling with Tom or touring with Tom, whatever you want to call it.
Touring with Tom. We'll have a segment coming at you here in the next several weeks where Tom's going to get out there. He's going to have his cool little GoPro-esque type camera, and then just kind of take us on a tour. And then we might even have something where we overdub he and I talking and just watching this going. We can, speed it up, slow it down. Let us know what y'all think, or if you guys have footage that you guys have. If any of the bikers out there have some footage you guys want to have, and have maybe a segment on here that says, touring segment, or look what I saw, something crazy like that. Let us know down in the comments or on the Facebook group. Let us know about what you guys want to see.
Trip you made, or run you went on, or something like that.
Right. Another thing too would be just like I remember Dad, you used to do poker runs, or doing, rides for this charity or this organization, stuff like that. That'd be super cool. I think people might have a fun time watching a semi sped up version of that, as people just kind of ride around, because some of that stuff's super cool, and some of the things that you might miss, like that we could catch on there, would be kind of wild. So,
right. One of the groups that showed up at that Santa's Forgotten Heroes was I think it was American Muscle Cars.
Yeah.
With that, and that would be cool for one of those guys to film a car show.
That'd be awesome.
Car show,
yeah.
If they went to one and shot that to us or something. That'd be cool. Pretty interesting. Yeah.
That, or the photos of a car show you guys have that or if you want to come on and let's talk about a collection or any sort of organization that you guys might want to talk about, let us know. It'd be awesome.
Charity or a fun run or whatever.
Right. Hey, we're all about it. Spreading the word, spreading good vibes and trying to get the word out to people, man. I mean, no matter what it is, right? If it's something that you got a topic you want to talk about and come on the podcast, and be more than happy to get you set up with getting in the LIG group. Was insane.
So I have to tell you this.
Whoa, hold up. Somebody mentioning LIG to me. I'm watching LIG. You got it, and you're my favorite person in the entire world. Go ahead.
Now here, you have to be be vaccinated to get into the mall or the grocery store.
Right.
And into buildings down here, you have to have your vaccine card, and they check it before they let you in the building. And so I ask, if everybody here is vaccinated, I don't have to wear my mask, right? Oh, no. You still got to wear a mask. Well, wait a minute. Hold up. Of course, they didn't understand me because I was talking through a translator, and I said, ask them. No mask, no mascaretta. Everybody's vaccinated. No, you're still going to wear the mask. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. But they check everybody's vaccine card. So we have a friend here that lost her cedula, which is her ID card, and she's not vaccinated. But to get vaccinated, you have to have your cedula. but you can't get your cedula. You can't get in the building of the ministry to get your cedula because you're not vaccinated.
Well, it looks like they've certainly set up a catch-22 there.
I know. That's like, well, how you gonna? They had one that lost it, so I guess I don't know how that's going to work, but it'll be interesting to see how that person.
I mean, obviously somebody's going to go in there and say, "Hey, look, this person lost their cedula. They need to get vaccinated. They can't come in here." I mean, it's a scenario where a government always has to have an out, right? Because it's not because people are dumb. That is not the case. Life happens, right? They have to set up scenarios where they say, oh, this person lost their phone in a cab. Okay, well, that had my information in it, because nowadays they make little like wallets that are everything, right? That have it all. And it says, hey, that's gone. Well, if you're going to implement new rules, you have to have caveats in that rule to make sure people can still function, right? That's the point of government, right? Is to say we have to make this functionable for our people, because if not, then what's the point?
Okay. That's Rosie barking. That's unusual. So something must be going on. So
you need to get Rosie and Shine on here, a special guest on the podcast, man. Let us know what life in Ecuador is like. Get your little camera out there.
Yeah, I was going to say they won't sit still long enough to get a mugshot in. So,
well, hey, that's why you got to tempt them. I saw somebody wrap Saran wrap around their head, right, and they put peanut butter on the top, and then they took their dog and clipped their nails while the dog was licking the peanut butter off of the top of their head. It was hilarious. So, if I can find that, I'll try to put that out there.
Yeah, that's
funny as hell. So, oh man, it's great. And I can just picture you down there, but you'll put it too far down. You'll be like, I can't breathe, but I got to clip the dog's nails quickly, So it'd be wild. But hey, Life in General podcast, we're back in action, coming at you.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Thank you all for sticking with us. We're sorry we missed last week. We hope all of you had a safe and healthy and happy holidays.
We're love not you. Sorry.
Much love. Don't say sorry. Hey, life happens.
No, we're not sorry. We're not sorry about anything. We're not sorry about anything. That's a New Year's resolution. Never say you're sorry.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, my God. Here we go.
Are you acting like someone who people want to be around half of the Life in General podcast, Tom?
The Life in General podcast.
The Life in General podcast is no way to not say, don't be sorry. And start going really fast. So, but yay, 41 subs. That's all you, baby. We love y'all very much. Thank y'all so much for sticking with us. We hope you guys have an excellent New Year's. For those who celebrate it, some calendars say it's not New Year's yet, so we'll have to wait on that. Anybody in China, and we will catch y'all on the flippity flip. Unless Padre, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope, I'm good.
Well, then we're gonna catch you on a flippity flip. See you.
See you.